At a time thousands of years ago in history, there's a story recorded in the Bible that there was a great flood that destroyed humanity. No one survived, only the family of a man named Noah, to survive by building a big ship, following the instructions of the temple. The legend has elements of fantasy and fantasy. However, human discoveries from the 80s to the present has shown that there used to be a ship, Noah in the flood, the most terrible in human history. Chapters 7 and 8 of the book of Genesis. Then the flood happened. It is God's punishment. Because human morality is deteriorating. There was a time humans have developed a brilliant civilization, but their hearts become selfish and cruel, with evil schemes, waiting patiently for change for the better from humanity. In vain, God decided to destroy them with a flood, to destroy the earth. But there's still a good moral person left. That's Noah. God said to Noah, "It's time to end it completely. This violence and this violence. I will destroy all living things. With them is the whole thing. World, like you, Noah, you must build a juniper ship. You will stop the ship from sailing, and then take the black oil inside and out, so that water can't get in. That ship has 3 floors, ground floor, second floor and third floor. And it's got to be 14 feet tall. Length 137 yards, width 23 yards. Noah listened to what God said to him. And it's amazing. He never built a boat, because he lives far from the coast and never needed it. I'm sure you never imagined. Have day, I'm going to build a ship of that size. God taught him how to make it. The ship will be built very well, with sturdy wooden frame. There's a channel top, so that the water doesn't spill onto the deck, and on one side of the train there's a window, and a single big door to get in and out. When it's done, it's like a giant raft house. But for what? Then there is the answer. God says, there will be a flood of monkeys all over the world. All living things under heaven will be destroyed. But to you, Noah, I made a promise. When you're done building the ship, go inside. You and your wife, your 3 sons and their families. I see you are good and I will save you. What about all living things except humans? Bring a pair of each species on board. Keep them alive with you. A pair of a male and a female. About all the birds in the sky, and all kinds of animals are absolutely necessary for humans, like sheep and cattle. You will bring 7 pairs of each species into the ship. Let them all reproduce again, full of quality on the ground. When the flood waters receded, and gather all kinds of food, put them on the ship to deliver them to you. For all the animals and reptiles in common with the people on board. Right now has come. When God told him to get on the boat, he said, in 7 days, I'll make it rain on the ground. It will rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Let's bring the animals on board in pairs, and your family too. Any creature not on board, they will be wiped off the ground. Noah on board with his sons and wives, with the wives of his sons. 1 pair, birds and animals and insects, male and female. Follow that person's family and get on board. Then Noah closed the door and waited. Then the flood suddenly appeared. It rained for 40 days and nights, and the water's been rising for 100 years and 7 days. Water filled the ground to cover the towering peaks of the mountains. All creatures are destroyed. And these aren't just legends. Excavations in the area of the Mesopotamian civilization detect as many traces as layers of mud, sediment, or fossils related to the Great Flood. Year 19 years 9. Lihan Durupina, captain of the Turkish army, accidentally discovered an object with an unusual shape while checking the aerial photos. He sent a photo to Dr. Brand Berger, University of the United States, After thorough research and analysis, these photos of him sent, Dr. Brandberger concluded that unusual shape is a ship. 1907 Roald Guyot visited the site, detect a strange object in a picture of Leon de Rapina, permitted by local authorities, Ranvias and some others. Thoroughly study this area with a metal detector and underground radar scanners. The results are absolutely worthy of their trust and rock Turkey at the time. The object has been identified as an ancient ship. It's a very large prehistoric ship on a mountain peak 2,000 meters above sea level. What's even more surprising is the analysis, proof and comparison. The scientists suspect that's Noah's famous Ark. What year? The 20th of June 1987. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Interior of Archaeological Institutions of Turkey, and researchers from Atay University, in recognition of the discoveries of the Rand Quies expedition, that the ship-shaped object on the mountain, at 2,000 meters above sea level, it's the ancient ship. This area later became a national park, and the treasures of Turkey. Here, it can be considered one of the historical findings, and the greatest archaeology, that the great floods of the past are real. Along with it, the description of the Great Flood, recorded in the earth tables, summer's lightning, the legend of the Mayans in Central America, the stories of the Muisca in Colombia, legends of Babylonian fairy tales and Indian epics. People synthesize, it's about 50 myths and legends of the Great Flood. It's all very detailed, clearly coherent, and there's a pattern that when humanity's morality plummets, then disaster will happen. Only good people survive. To geologists William Bryan and Watermbia of the University of Columbia, study of a great flood, about 7,000 years ago, archaeological evidence shows that a layer of sediment between the layers of soil in Iraq, it's about 2,900 years ago today. It's the trail of a great flood. 1922, British archaeologist Leonard Gutley began digging. Survey of the Mesopotamian Desert SA. It's between Baghdad and the Persian Gulf, discovered the ancient kingdom of Sumer, and discovered the king's tomb in this city. Sumer is an ancient civilization in southern Mesopotamia, now in the Middle East. The Sumer civilization appeared around 2900 BC in the Iraqi desert SA. They found a lot of clay tablets. It's engraved with the seal of the Sumer, recording Mesopotamian myths and legends. It's the story of a great flood. It happened in ancient times. According to that history, Gigames, found on in Asia and Stela. The civilization appeared about 2500 BC. The story of Asia, it also describes terrible pandemics. They fought in a great battle. When it happens, the god who protects man is here. Teach Utnapishtim how to escape. 6 days after the flood began, the waters receded. Utnapishtim released out the door a bird to try, but it can't fly far. Then he released a swallow. There is no better result. Finally a crow flew away. When released out, tell the Utnapishtim team that the water has withdrawn. He went out and sacrificed to the gods. It's the same story that appears in the Bible, with the records of Noah. After 40 days and nights of rain, the flood happened in 100 years and 7 days. And when the flood waters start receding, Noah's Ark stuck in the arid mountains. Open the window and try a rock crow to see if the water has drained. But this crow just dares to go back and forth. Next time Noah let a pigeon fly out, but it couldn't find a parking spot and had to fly back. Let the pigeon out again. As he flew back to the pigeon, he followed a branch of leaves umbrella. Noah waited 7 days and then released the dove. And this time it's not coming back. Remove the shield. Open the boat door. Go outside and see that the ground is drying. He thanked God and received God's grace. What amazes people is, the same story was found in Mesopotamia. Some have almost 5,000 years of history. It shows a common belief about the great flood that happened, and an unexpected mutual life, about the story of Noah's meditation, or astrahicus or fake UTURXP.